Welcome back guys to Fog Racing. We're here for your Austrian Grand Prix driver ratings. What an eventful race it was. Well, especially the last 20 laps, but we're going to waste no time. Let's get into Alfa Romeo Stack F1 Tembra. Guan Yu Zhou, I'm going to give a 4. Bottas, I'm going to give a 4. I find it incredibly hard to rate these two teams. These two and Williams. Albon a 3, Sargent a 3. Not up too much. Right, into RB, I'm going to give Shinoda a 4. I'm going to give Daniel Ricciardo I'm going to give him an 8. You know, I think the RB's all there, but he got 2 points, didn't he, at the end of the day? So, 2 points, Rick. 2 points, Rick. Right, Haas, Kevin Magnussen, I'm going to give a 9 out of 10. Hulkenberg, 10 out of 10. Great drive for these two. Great drive. I mean, I think the Haas was definitely, you know, like, I wouldn't say it was guaranteed better than, you know, the teams that's around, but then they were in a race-long battle with Sergio Perez. You know what I mean? Like, and they actually beat him as a team. I think obviously Magnussen didn't, but I mean, you really deny those numbers there, brother. Right. Aston Martin, Alonso, 2 out of 10. Lance Stroll, 4 out of 10. I actually don't know what's happening with Fernando. I mean, if he doesn't hit Guan Yu Zhou, maybe there's the chance he could do something, because that 10-second penalty fucked up his race. But again, I wouldn't bet on it. Up next we got Alpine. I kind of just feel like where Haas were, I think that's where Alpine should have been. I just think Haas worked together better and executed a better strategy. I think the Alpines just stayed out far too long. I'm going to give Ocon a 5. I don't give Gasly a 7. I mean, he got a point at the end of the day. Right, up next, McLaren. Oscar Piastri, I thought was pretty unlucky, but he should be winning it. You know what I mean? I get it, he started, but the McLaren has a clear pace advantage over like Ferrari and Mercedes. He should be there, even starting 7th. So I'm going to give Oscar Piastri a 7 out of 10. He finished 2nd, right? And he would have won it without that track limit thing, which, yeah, it was unfair. So, again, we'll get into Perez as well soon. As for Lando Norris, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Right. I don't really know what happened in qualifying, but in the sprint he couldn't get past his teammate. Then, in the race, he was, I wouldn't say he was awful, but where was the pace in the last stint compared to the other stints? And as I touched on in the review, I think Lando Norris is the one that cost himself a win. He couldn't overtake Max. As for Norris, right, as I've touched on, right, the incident is not his fault. I do think there is a bit of an over-exaggeration, right? Norris could have easily went onto the curb and attempted to avoid Max. I still think it's Max's fault, and I still think Max warrants a penalty. But again, Norris should have been past him. He had the much quicker car in that last stint. And, you know, let's put it this way. If that is Max on Norris with the same pace advantage at the end there, that's not lasting like the 7 laps it did. It's not. I'm sorry, it's not. Because Max would have steamrolled past him. Alright? Or set it up better. I think it is a bit of lacky experience for Norris. And a lot of fanboys will cry about that statement, but I think it's just the reality, man. I think he did. I think he was a wee bit of a bottler. So I think a 7's fair. Ferrari, Charles Leclerc, unlucky, but made a few mistakes as well. I mean, I'll give him a 4 out of 10. Carlos Sainz, 8 out of 10. Got a podium in a car that doesn't belong on the podium anymore. Sad for Ferrari, but what is there to say? You know? Into Mercedes, I'm going to give Lewis Hamilton, I'm going to give him a 6. Just thought he was off it all weekend. You know? He should be there. He should be picking up he's the 7-time world champion, you know. You're talking about victories that could have been gifted to you, man. Lewis Hamilton should have had one here, but didn't, so I'm giving him a 6 out of 10. George Russell, you know what? He lucked into it completely, but he beat Perez, he beat Piastri, he beat the 2 Ferraris, and he beat his teammates. So for that, I'm going to give him a 9. Didn't put a foot wrong all weekend. Clearly the 3rd quickest driver all weekend. So yeah, serves him right getting that. And then into Red Bull, I'm going to give Sergio Perez a 2 out of 10. I don't care about the damage. Oh, the side pod shouldn't be there, shouldn't be qualifying there. 9 times off your teammate in the shortest lap on the track, unacceptable. I mean, how's he losing all that fucking speed, by the way? Is it on the middle sector? I mean, come on, but what are you doing? Unacceptable, Perez. 2 out of 10. And Max Verstappen, I'm going to give him a 7 because he finished 5th, even though it was his fault, right? At the end of the day, he had the pace up until the final stint, and Norris didn't get past. He kept Norris behind him. Now, people can say, oh, dodgy moves. He's kept a faster car behind him for so many laps. Good defence, but again, was it one of those things where you just, fuck, he's probably getting a penalty, just accept it? Probably, but he didn't, and it made for entertainment.